Our Max Pannier has won many awards, including Ride Magazine Recommended and Adventure Bike TV's Best in Test. Metal Mule, engineered to be different. Proud sponsors of the bike reviews on Adventure Bike TV.
Over the last 3 and a bit years, there's been one group of adventure riders that we probably haven't given enough attention to at Adventure Bike TV, and that's learner riders. Now, your choices of bike are a little bit limited. I mean, you've got your Derby Terra, you've probably got the Honda Varadero. But if you're a learner rider and you want a bike that's a properly focused adventure bike, your options are a bit limited. But there is a learner legal 125 bike that has been purposely built for adventure on the tarmac, as it is green laning and off-road. And that bike is the Sinnis Terrain. It's pretty quick to get through the specifications for this little machine. With your 125cc supper, you'll be served 11 horsepower, 5-speed gearbox, 14 litres of fuel capacity, which in theory should be good for 300 miles plus range, 150 kilos dry weight, upside down forks. Just watch those linked rear brakes. It's easy to get caught out if you brake the rear hard on a slippery surface. The front will start to go at the same time. And of course, you'll also get all that lovely protection and the all-round hard luggage. And in all honesty, there's a lot of protective bars, even around the hard luggage, which is the first time I've ever seen that. So we need to get something clear right from the start with this bike. It's an 11 horsepower learner legal bike. It's not going to blow you away with this performance. Far from it. I would say the acceleration is similar to sitting on a sit-on lawnmower. But that doesn't matter. You've just got to put the speed, 55 or 60 miles an hour top speed, and acceleration to one side and forget about it. It is what it is. But the bike is a lot of fun to ride as a bike. It looks the part of an adventure bike. And as I've been riding over the last few days, one of the things that's really struck me is, because I haven't been thinking about my speed particularly, obviously, apart from speed limits, and I haven't been thinking about the acceleration, I've just been enjoying what I've been doing. I've taken a lot more notice of what's around me, and surely when it comes to an adventure bike, that's what's important. To share a great deal of its looks and parts with the Honda Ventura 250 from a few years ago, which I always thought was a good looking machine. Certainly the crash bars and the luggage look almost identical, so unsurprisingly, I think this little fella looks good as well. The price is also pretty nice looking. This all comes for a very thrifty £2,400 plus OTR costs. Now, that is not to be sniffed at. I have a little bit of a confession. I'd really not had much to do with the Sinnis bikes, and I didn't know a lot about the brand. So, Sinnis motorcycles have been in business for 12 years, importing their bikes from the factories in China. Aha, I hear you shout. Chinese bikes! What about quality and reliability? We've all heard the stories. Well, suffice to say that the Sinnis bikes come from the same factories that are partnered with Yamaha, Suzuki, BMW and Harley. The terrain itself is made by the BMW and Harley partner. So I guess that is that. The terrain feels like it will be a reasonable off-road bike. The low height and weight helps keep upright, but in fairness, you don't quite get the feeling that you want to stand up and move around the green lanes. Plus the 17-inch cast wheels may hold the Sinnis back a little bit off-road, limiting tire joists to rubber that's maybe a bit more oriented towards the tarmac. But having said that, it will go off the tarmac. It will take you pretty much anywhere you want to go.
I was working with a colleague a few years ago and she had her learner licence, ready to ride a 125, and she was desperate to have a bike that would take her on some adventures, mainly around the UK. She wanted to go to Scotland and Wales and explore, and maybe over to the continent. But she was asking me about what would be the best bike to do it on, and I now know this would have been the perfect bike for her. It's comfortable, it's got the luggage, it's got the looks. It would have taken her anywhere she wanted to go. Equally today, we bumped into a chap as we were filming, and he came over because he thought the bike looked really cool, which it does. But he was only interested in something that was small, didn't have to go too fast, but would work perfectly as a commuter bike for him. Something he could potentially even put his crash helmet in the back of, which you can do in the back case on this bike. And in many ways, that sums up this bike. It is a great little 125 learner legal adventure bike, but equally it would make a fantastic commuter bike. As an adventure bike, you would see a lot of what's going on around you, but surely that's the point. So the big question is, of course, will I have one of these in my garage? And frankly, for me, no, which wouldn't surprise many of you. It's not a big bike, and I like a bit of speed. But for my daughter, who's 21, and who expresses a great deal of interest in learning to ride, it would be perfect.
All Metal Mule panniers are designed and manufactured in the UK. Metal Mule, engineered to be different. Proud sponsors of the bike reviews on Adventure Bike TV.